What you want to do is take a bucket and a really fine screen like this, and take the dirt that you've collected, just dump it on top of the screen, and then just take your hand, just start mixing it into the screen. See how much less there is? And then once you get down to these rock layers, just push it off to the side. And you pour the rest of your dirt in there, like that. And because of how thin the screen is, you won't get any of these big rocks inside your dirt, which will make it a lot easier to get the finer dirt out. That way, you have a neater ball instead of one that has a bunch of grooves and stuff in it. So now that you have all this fine dirt, look at that. Once you have all that fine dirt, look at that, my hand just sinks into it. It's super silky. Just feels good. Once you have that fine dirt, take most of it out of your bucket. Just do it like that. You want to save some of it so that you can drop it on your ball. But that's still too much. There we are. There we go. Alright. Yep, that seems pretty good. Add your water so that it gets a good consistency. Not too much. Here. Seems about good. You want to mix this around so that you can get a good even consistency with it. So that it's not too muddy, but you know, it's good enough that it's almost like clay in a way. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands for this one. There we go. Alright. So now, once you start forming it, I'm actually gonna add a little bit more water to this. You want to squeeze out all the water as much as possible. So just take it, start getting into a ball like this, and just start squeezing all that water out. That way, you don't have too many cracks forming, and you don't have to keep adding more and more layers to your surface. And that way in the future, when you finally have your ball like this, you know, you don't have to worry about, you know, you don't have to worry about it cracking. You don't have to worry about a bunch of grooves and cracks on your surface of your ball. Alright, it's looking pretty good so far. See here, like that. Remember, squeeze all of that water and liquid out of your surface of your ball. Like that seems pretty good. Alright. And then once you get to this consistency, it's not too liquidy, it's almost like Play-Doh. Once you have that type of consistency, you can take your finer dirt that you kept and you just start sprinkling it on your ball. Like that. That way, your ball can get all dry and it adds onto the layer as the moisture wickens or comes to the surface. Now if you see a crack, don't worry about it, because you're adding layers to your ball as your ball dries. So if you see any cracks come to your surface, that's alright. Just cover it up. I'm trying to break all this excess dirt off my hands. Just take your hands, just get all that dirt off your fingers. Like that. That's better. Alright. There we go. Take your finger on the dry spots and just scoot your finger along. If you get little crumbs, that's alright. If you get more cracks, just cover it up. You want to get a good layer of dirt on your ball. That way, you can let it sit out in the sun. Once your ball is dry and there's no more cracks on the surface, you want to let it sit out in a plastic bag out in the sun. I'm going to keep messing around with this ball, and yeah, we'll see it in the morning. So after you start, after you get it out, after it dries after a while, in the plastic bag, it should be very hard as a rock. Well, not very hard as a rock, but hard enough. And what you want to do is take some sort of shoe polish brush, or do it with your hand. Do it with your hand at first. As you can tell, my hand's all like different colors from the dirt. But then you use different grain brushes, and yeah, you just rub at it, and it starts getting it all shiny. So I'm gonna rub at this for a little while, and yeah, I'll come back and show you the finished product. Here's the shiny dirt ball. I like the way this one looks. See? And after scrubbing it with a brush for half an hour, you get a really cool look to it.